For the last couple of years, it seems like companies have been plugging AI into absolutely everything, right? But what happens when that initial gold rush starts to slow down and all the easy wins are gone? Well, today we're going to dig into a huge new system from Adobe that's designed to solve that exact problem. Let's get right into it. And let's be super clear, those early AI experiments, they were a massive success. I mean, just look at these numbers. A recent Adobe study found that 3/4 of businesses are cranking out content way faster. Almost 70% are seeing real jumps in productivity, and over 60% say AI has directly boosted their revenue. These are not small potatoes, these are game-changing results. But, and this is the big but, for a lot of those same companies, the progress has just slammed into a wall. See, the problem is all those powerful AI tools are working in their own little bubbles, stuck in different departments, on totally separate projects, completely disconnected from each other. So companies have pretty much maxed out their return on investment. And the reason is, it's just chaos behind the scenes. And that chaos has a name: the digital mess. It really boils down to three major problems that pretty much every big brand is wrestling with, whether they know it or not. Okay, problem number one, fragmented data. Think about it. A brand's information about you, everything you've bought, every time you've called support, every click on their website, it's scattered across dozens of different systems that do not talk to each other. It makes it almost impossible for them to get a single, clear picture of who you are and what you actually want from them. And then there's problem two, content overload. The demand for content has just exploded. Brands are expected to create these super personalized experiences for every single customer on every single channel. From their TikTok feed to their app to your email inbox, the amount of stuff they have to create is just staggering. And even with AI, their teams are drowning trying to keep up. And now we've got a whole new challenge popping up: the AI middleman. More and more, we're asking AI assistants and new search engines to do the work for us. Summarize the best cameras, compare these two hotels. This puts a brand new layer between you and the brand, and it's totally changing how we find and choose the things we buy. So how in the world do you clean up this mess? Well, Adobe's big answer is a new system called CX Enterprise. And honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is to think of an orchestra. Instead of every musician just playing their own random tune, you have a conductor who makes sure everyone is playing together in perfect harmony. And that is the core idea of what they're calling customer experience orchestration, or CXO. This isn't about just adding another shiny new AI tool to the pile. No, it's about building a system where all the AIs they already have, all that scattered customer data, and all their mountains of content can finally start working as a team. It's a huge shift from a bunch of solo acts to a single coordinated performance. Yeah, this slide just nails the difference. Right now, for most companies, it's AI chaos. You've got disconnected tools, messaging that's all over the place, and a ton of manual work just to stitch things together. The orchestrated approach, though, that creates a single, coordinated system with a consistent brand voice, results that build on each other, and automated workflows. It's literally the difference between a bunch of noise and a beautiful symphony. Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does this thing actually work under the hood? Let's break down the three core pieces that make all this orchestration happen. Think of it like you're building a team. First, you have the brand DNA. This is a system called Brand Intelligence, and its whole job is to learn a company's unique style, its rules, its voice. Then you've got the customer brain, or Engagement Intelligence, which is laser-focused on figuring out the very next best move for each individual customer. And finally, you have the action team, an AI agent called the CX Enterprise Coworker that takes all that direction and coordinates all the other AIs to actually get the job done. This quote from Comcast's chief growth officer just explains the problem perfectly. It's that rogue content, right? The stuff that marketers don't even see that ends up watering down a brand. So instead of just relying on some static PDF style guide nobody reads, this system actually learns from what's happening in the real world, like which ads get approved, which ones get rejected, to make sure every single thing the AI generates stays perfectly on brand. So I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds fantastic for giant corporations. But what does this massive, complex system actually mean for you, the average person just scrolling through your phone? Why should you care? Well, it turns out this stuff is going to directly change your daily digital life. Let's connect the dots here. When a business talks about personalization at scale, what that really means for you is getting ads and offers that are actually helpful, not just creepy. When they achieve consistent brand governance, it means you get a less confusing, more seamless experience when you jump from their website to their app. When they worry about AI search visibility, the benefit for you is getting better, more accurate answers when you ask an AI for recommendations. And their workflow efficiency, that translates to faster, smarter customer service for you. The big takeaway is this: a less chaotic system for them really does mean a smoother, more useful experience for you. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most mind-bending part of this whole shift. Because this isn't just about making today's internet a little less messy. It's about preparing for a future where AI agents play a much, much bigger role in all of our lives. So let's just end on this one provocative question. What happens when our AI assistants, what some people are calling machine customers, start making buying decisions for us? Think about it. They won't have an emotional connection to a brand. They won't be swayed by a funny Super Bowl ad. They'll just have a list of goals. And in that future, a company's ability to communicate its value clearly and consistently, not just to a person, but to another AI, is going to be everything. It's a massive shift in how we think about choice. And believe it or not, it's already starting to happen.